Hello there, YouTube. It's Ruby3, back with another kicking action figure review. And today, we got a pretty good one for you. One of McFarlane Toys' better figures from their DC Multiverse line. It is their Michael Keaton Multiverse Batman from the Flash movie. Full disclosure, haven't seen the Flash movie. I don't super care. I'm a big DC Comics fan. I'm sure I'll watch it eventually one day. But I've read Flashpoint a million times. I've seen the Flashpoint animated film several times. I've seen the Flashpoint episode of The Flash a couple times. And I just do not need it, especially since Ezra Miller is a monster. But I did want a Michael Keaton Batman in my collection. Found this guy in the wild for like 20 bucks. I've seen him for like 50 online at the time. Pretty cool. And McFarlane paid a lot of attention to this guy. And I'm sure you can tell just from this. A friggin' cloth cape. We don't get a lot of that from McFarlane, as you'll see in size comparisons. But it's a good cloth cape. It's cut like a Batman cape. And it folds around him so super well. Look at that. Oh my. That is a good cape. Good job on that, McFarlane. His bat symbol seems a little crooked, but I can live with it, because that cape is great. The belt is black. I assume it's black in the movie. I mean, it's black on the art, on the card, which you'll see later. But I feel like a little more color would have been nice just in the movie's character design. It would have been nice to just have it yellow like back in the day, but oh well. And they made his boots like real muddy. They didn't have to do that. That looks good. It does bring a little more character to it and a little more color. Maybe they did feel that it didn't have enough color and they were like, the movie just didn't give him enough. Let's make his boots muddy. But it's a good look. It looks good. Like he has been jumping in mud puddles, chasing down criminals, or, whatever. I know he was like retired and coming out of retirement in that film or whatever, or something. That's what the back of the card says, but eh. So yeah, that's cool. Head sculpt's fine. All the detail and stuff is good. There's not a lot of paint, but that's because the character is just almost entirely black. So, what you gonna do? But we do get head articulation. I wonder if his head can even move like this in the film, because I remember in Batman 89 he couldn't move his head like at all. But still, it's nice to have head movement. Whether it's accurate or not, I'd rather have it. A lot of good movement in the arms, up and down. The shoulder blades don't hinder as much as you think they would. They hinder a little, but eh. You got bicep, double elbow bend. You got forward and back on the little wrists and a rotation. You got some pretty decent torso movement. Nice, and you got it on the waist too. So, you can get him in a nice diving or jumping pose, etc. Get him looking up, which is important. McFarlane does these kind of rubbery covers on the booty here, kind of like NECA does, which allows their legs to kick back much further than, say, a Marvel Legend or a Lightning Collection figure. In and out, forward and back. This one's a little tougher than, like, Supergirl's from the same movie, but it's okay. Sometimes they have a little side to side, but this one doesn't because there's no thigh cut or anything. These never have those, but still sometimes there's a little wobble up here, but his doesn't really wobble. Double knee bend. There's no boot swivel. But you got up and down on the feet, side to side, and an ankle pivot, plus little toe beans. Little toe bean articulation. So the thing is, articulation is good. The cloth cape is pretty great. I think they just knew that this would be a popular figure, and it was Keaton Batman, and McFarlane cares way more about Batman than anything else, so he just seems to have gone pretty all out on it. And I think that accessories will help make that point for me, because you can see he clearly has two holding hands here, and they're different holding hands. This one is for his grappling gun, which you can see here. He holds it fine, but if he falls off the shelf, this is flying out of his hand. It just is. If you have him set up on the shelf and like your cat knocks it down, or there's like an earthquake, you are losing that grapple gun. Sorry, that is the case. But it's still, it looks good, and he holds it. So that's nice. And then the other hand is just a bit less specialized. It is for the Batarang. I feel like these used to be different colors, maybe. If it wasn't this Batarang yellow and the other... No, maybe I'm wrong. I might be thinking of a different Batman. Okay, but you know, he comes with this Batarang. Da-na-na-na-na. Pretty good. He holds this one much better. This one will stay in the hand better than the grapple gun. But still, if he falls from a high place, it's still possible to lose it. I think I'll probably just display him with fists. Oh, specifically for that reason. Speaking of losing things. Yeah, he comes with 2 fist hands. They're fist hands, you know. They got all the detail to be specifically for him, as you can see. I'll probably just display him with these, because it's an easier thing for me to do. I don't want to display the holding hands, but because maybe my cat runs amok, so I don't really want to display him with these. But he does come with, you know, the DC stand that all the non-flying characters come with. It's fine. It's a good stand. And he comes with a trading card. McFarlane likes to put these trading cards in here. And I like that. I like figures that come with trading cards. It reminds me of like the old Trin Masters Godzilla stuff that I would get as a kid, you know? And they'd all come with a trading card. You see? I like that. And I like that it's also this kind of concept promotional art or something, like this 2D kind of hand-drawn art. That's really cool because, you know, the other cards that come with these multiverse figures usually have comic art on them. Some of them have like just product shots of the action figure itself, which are lame. I don't want to picture the figure I just bought. Give me the comic art to go with it. But yeah, that'll look better next to the comic art cards than like a still from the movie would. And a lot of action figure producers would have just done a still from the movie. I don't think this is original art. I think this is like promotional art. But still, I'm glad they did something that would match comics better. And I think there were prequel comics also for the Flash movie. Could be from that. I don't know. But you know, it's got a read-up. And it's not just a regular Batman read-up. It is a specific movie Batman read-up. And I know you might be thinking, oh, of course it is. But I reviewed the Two-Faces Batman figure a couple of videos ago. And it did not have the Two-Faces Batman read-up. It was just a normal Two-Face origin story. So, but yeah, the read-up there is about exactly what I expected. Whatever. Yeah, but I think the card and stand are good enough. I think they gave him some pretty good accessories. And his sculpt is pretty good, and paint, the little that he has, is good too. And I think they compensated for not having much paint by giving us the cool cloth cape. Now, let's see how he looks with other figures. So I'm going to lay him down here and show him with other figures from his line. First up, another figure from his film. I have already reviewed her, and you kind of saw a bit of her earlier. It is the McFarlane DC Multiverse Supergirl figure from the Flash film. I think she goes fine with the Batman. You know, she's kind of a young lady. He's an old man. So I think it works. Plus, she's wearing skin-tight clothes. He has armor on, so he'll be bulkier and taller and whatnot. Works for me. Thank you, Kara. Come with me, please. Alright, now let's compare him with a comic figure. An irrelevant one at that. Here he is with another figure that I mentioned in this video that I also recently reviewed. It is the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman Reborn Two-Faces Batman. And I think they work pretty well together too. Obviously, comic figures and movie figures are gonna have different proportions because, like, comic figures' proportions are going to be much less realistic, and their detail is going to be on a completely different standard, you know. See how much smoother it is, because that's how he looked in the comic. And, you know, you got all these intricate little details on this guy, because he was in a live-action movie. But still, I think they look pretty cool together. I could see them fighting. Very nice. And another figure I want to show him with. Just another McFarlane figure. I think I'm just going to show him with McFarlane DC figures from now on. It is the Deluxe Spawn from McFarlane Toys. This is the one that comes with like the throne. I have reviewed him. All the figures you've seen so far in size comparisons I have reviewed. And I think it's pretty cool, you know. Spawn's crossed over with Batman multiple times. There was actually one recently. I haven't read that one, but I did read the first two from back in the day. Pretty cool. I really like it. I really like it. Me likey. Now I'm going to show him with something from NECA. Alright? This is a NECA figure. It is the NECA Original Superheroes. The Phantom. They're in the same scale, so I wanted to show him with that, because the Phantom was a huge inspiration for Batman. See the skin-tight suit on the Phantom? That was the first time superheroes really had that. You know? So, all these characters that have more skin-tight costumes have them because of the Phantom. See the Phantom's whited-out eyes? He was also the first one to do that. And this Batman doesn't have whited-out eyes because he's a movie Batman, but once again, I mean, this is green, but you see the single-color eyes. That comes from the Phantom. Plus, he's a powerless kind of vigilante character who's also rich and fights crime and trains the next generation of crime fighters as well. So, you know, incredibly relevant to this review. So yeah, I actually think they look great together. I'd actually love it if McFarlane did like an original Batman with the purple gloves that I could specifically display with my Phantom, because they have done that with Superman recently, and I would really like a Batman like that. I do think they make too much Batman stuff, but I mean, clearly it doesn't stop me from buying it, so whatever. Give me that original Batman, McFarlane, so I can go with my Phantom. Alright. So, what are my final thoughts on the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman Michael Keaton Multiverse figure from the Flash movie? I think it's really good. They paid a lot of attention to it. He has a good amount of accessories, cloth cape, the articulation is good. Since the character design is almost entirely black, they didn't have much to do paint-wise. They didn't have to give us boots like this, but they did. I like that. I don't know if that's movie accurate, because once again I haven't seen it, but they did a great job with this figure. They did a great job with this figure. I think it's one of their better ones, and I wish they would pay this much attention to figures in the future without raising the price, because we're getting a lot of just repaint garbage from McFarlane recently. Just like repaint garbage. They're repainting a figure, and then they're like giving us a stand for the card, and then they're like, oh, this figure's like $30-35 now, and it's like, why? You charging us $5 to $10 extra bucks for a stand for the card? I'm pretty sure the card is everyone's least favorite feature. I like the cards probably more than most. But yeah, it's nice that I could just get this guy at a good price. If you don't want this version and you want like a regular Keaton version, like from the '89 film, I believe there's going to be one in the big multi-pack with all the film Batman except for Adam West, who got left out of it because they just wanted the serious ones. And also there might have been also rights issues or something, I don't know. But also you still have a Batmobile version too, one that comes with a Batmobile, which I think is a regular '89 as well. I don't know, because I don't want to get the vehicles. But I really like this guy. My only complaint, the bat symbol is a little crooked. That's it. So, thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Twitter and stuff on our link tree. I sell action figures and trading cards and stuff on eBay. Check that out. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now. Da-na-na-na-na.